Hi, everybody. It's Natasha Nesta here. Just checking in. We are starting week 13, so only a couple more weeks to go. And I hope everything's going okay. I know I've been in contact with many of you with some really good questions about interviewing and especially doing interviews over email. It's probably easiest if you can provide some questions ahead of time to give your sources time to think about the answers. If you're doing email interviews, that's acceptable during these times. Also, consider doing phone interviews if that is an option for you. So, you should be finishing up your quizzes and also making sure that you've done your famous writer biographical report. So I'll be taking a look at those. I'm very excited to read about some new writers and possibly some of my old favorites as well. Then your main project for the week, you will not have any lectures or reading to do, but we need to be wrapping up our Clarion class projects. So please be finishing those up, working with your partner if you have one. Those are due to me on April 22nd, which by the way is Earth Day. And I will take a look, make some edits, and I may be reaching out to you for additional information or asking you to do a little bit more reporting. But remember, we do have an obligation to provide these to the Clarion, and they are still publishing online, and our stories will be featured in their last online issue of the year. And I'm hoping that we will have something worthy of submitting and maybe being considered for some awards. But most importantly is that you are getting a byline and getting published. So it's really important to start building a portfolio. If this is your first time being published, you want to start collecting your stories, and even if it's a link to an online piece or taking a screenshot in this case, and making sure you're keeping track of that. And also consider building a LinkedIn site if you have some time coming up after this semester so that you can build your online resume. So being published is one way to separate yourself from other journalism students who may also be getting certificates or degrees, but may not have been published. And it's also something that I hope you take great pride in. You work very hard on these stories. I know I really enjoy reading them and seeing what you've accomplished, and I really appreciate the growth I've seen in many of you this semester in terms of your writing, but most especially, I've noticed it in your research and reporting. The final thing I want you to be thinking about working on this week is your final project. So you do not have a final exam for investigative journalism. However, you will be producing a final project, and we've talked about that and the requirements. The rubric is posted on Blackboard, so you want to familiarize yourself with that. But I will be wanting you to work on an outline for your project, and I will be most interested in seeing what your nut graph is. So in a couple of sentences, if you can please relate what your story is about, what makes it newsworthy. Remember, your nut graph comes after your lead, and it is extremely important part of the feature story in that it makes a promise to the reader about what your story will entail. And in a way, you can think of it like your thesis statement that you would use in a research paper. So not a lot of external, reading, watching videos or anything like that this week. I really want you to be working on your projects, and feel free to email me or text or call if you have any questions. Other than that, I hope you're all staying healthy. I hope your family is well, and that you are adjusting to our current environment and maintaining what I've learned is more appropriately called physical distancing. So happy to help you. Looking forward to reading your famous feature bios. And as you've probably noticed, Nesta's getting a little sick of me, I think, being home. He thought it was pretty cool the first couple of weeks. And he's actually become, I think, a little sick of seeing me, and that I am taking up some of his nap time. So, sorry he left our video, but I will be in touch, and good luck in week 13.